Hi, I'm Mike Capizzola from the Investing Channel, and you're watching Smart Money, the show that gives you the inside edge on the bets that the movers and shakers on Wall Street are placing. 2020 was a tough year for the automotive industry. Total sales fell 15%, and the widespread adoption of new technologies caused disruption and long-term restructuring. Those depressed sales figures not only hit vehicle manufacturers, but affected their supply chains too. That includes businesses like Illinois-based Tenecco Automotive, which has 78,000 employees across 300 sites globally and had 2019 revenues of $17.5 billion. Tenecco operates in 4 areas: motor parts, ride performance, clean air, and powertrains, and supplies both manufacturers and the aftermarkets. Its customers include major manufacturers like GM, Ford, BMW, Nissan, Toyota, Daimler, and Volkswagen, alongside industrial and agricultural vehicle makers like Caterpillar and John Deere. The automotive industry as a whole is going through a sea change as we move away from combustion engines towards electric vehicles. In recent months, both Ford and GM have committed to this change, and they have announced investments and partnerships to bring this to fruition. Electric vehicles will have a very different supply chain than their gas-driven peers had. Despite these challenges in its Q4 2020 earnings, Tenecco reported revenues of $4.7 billion, up by 12% from the same period in 2019. Net income was $167 million, or $2.03 a share, up from $1.68 for the same period in 2019. On the face of it, Tenecco turns over a lot of money, but doesn't make very much for itself. Interesting, then, that one of the best-known names on Wall Street has been selling Tenecco stock. Carl Icahn, who can genuinely be described as an investing legend, has been selling down his holding in Tenecco. Back in 2018, Carl Icahn sold Federal Mogul to Tenecco for $5.4 billion, part of which was paid in Tenecco stock, a holding that has never really performed for Icahn and his investment business. Over the last 52 weeks, Tenecco stock has rallied by almost 300% and was up 20.5% over the last month alone, and Icahn has been selling into the strength in the share price. In fact, if we look to the end of November 2020, we find that in total since then, Icahn has sold just over 14 million shares at an average price of a little over $11.38, raising $160 million. Icahn is thought to have reduced his Tenecco holdings by almost 60%, and he may yet sell more as he picked up the pace of his disposals throughout February and March. So what should we read from this? Well, Tenecco hasn't really been a happy investment for Carl Icahn, and he has no doubt used the rally in the shares driven by the vaccine's rollout and the economic reopening to his advantage. However, the fact that such a savvy investor and large-scale shareholder in Tenecco should choose to sell now could indicate that he sees a top in the share price and that the money raised from Tenecco can be deployed in more profitable businesses elsewhere. Tenecco's market cap has shrunk to around $810 million, and its current share price of $12 is a far cry from its all-time high of $70 in 2017. With profit margins in the business at approximately just 3.60%, it's not obvious how Tenecco will be able to turn its fortunes around. This could explain why Icahn is selling out now. That's all we have time for today, but please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.